minute the streams began. I don't know if it's actually up yet, but for those of you who are seeing all of our smiling, some of us crying faces, these are the people behind World Unity Week, the team uppers, our amazing room stewards and Zoom techs, and people who've been offering events for the past 8 days. And we're so grateful to every single heart and soul, and for all the people that you've touched and all the people that you've connected with before World Unity Week and this week. And we just pray and we ask that our light continue to shine, to bless and reach and uplift many, many more people. Because we're here, the new story is right here and we're part of it. And I'm just so profoundly moved by how so many of you have stepped in even more and up into your own gifts and what you're doing. You've amplified your own self into this incredible experience. And so I just am humbled and grateful and tired. And I love you all so much. And John, I know I'm saying more words than I need to other than thank you, but.
Yeah. It's a challenge to appreciate what we've done here. It's mind-blowing. And it's more than any one of us know. So where do you start? Let me say to you, Becky, this just wouldn't have happened without you. It's just true. And what's fueling this, we need to not honor it, because it's like we found some magic gold. And it is in selfless service. You've given me nothing but joy. I've seen you, Becky, do that again and again. We said, we're just going with the flow. Whatever's in the way is on the way. Whatever your needs are, it's been our joy to say, okay, how do we make that work? Oh, Zoom decides to change everything. Oh, great. How are we going to make that work? Oh, Facebook's going to change everything. How are we going to make that work? We can meet those challenges. And we have, as a team, risen and said, okay, I'm going to own this room. I'm going to play. I'm going to challenge myself to learn these crazy technologies and whatever. You know, like we've known that what's in the way is on the way. And we don't know where we are. I'm telling you, we are somewhere different.
We're in the future.
Claire. And one of the things I want to make sure you know, I know that like when swarms and flocks happen, there is no obvious leader. It's every one of us. The center of the universe is wherever you are. You own this world. I know that. We know that. Got to break some old patterns. Got to break some old patterns. Lay some new tracks. And we are. Superorganism, Julie. Superorganism. Hollow movement. Social justice, Dr. Marty. I mean, it's a challenge to even try to name what's going on here. So when you landed, we're the people, though I will say this with confidence, that are like the pioneers. We're the settlers who've landed in this new world. And we've got some work to do. But I can't imagine a more profound and more meaningful way to sort it out. Now, here's how I see it. Just give you 1 second in this thing, okay? I learned this week. The thing, everyone had their own moments of insight, moments that I want to hear. We want everyone, actually, we're starting a jam board. Like, what are those things that you witnessed or saw that you don't want to ever forget?
I'll put the Jamboard into the chat and we can just have at it. And we're also going to hear from each of our stewards. We're going to have time for up to 3 minutes from each of our stewards as well, but I'll put it in the chat in a second. Okay. And for me, one of them was this incredible presentation about the crisis of loneliness for our young people. Each of our stewards. Did you see that? Audrey Kittigower and her team? Oh my God.
So here's the thing, bottom line for me, why it was so meaningful. I just like, it's true. There is a terrible addiction. Social media is poison. The way it's being used. These kids are looking at other people's lives articulated and curated so beautifully on Instagram and Facebook and saying, my life doesn't look like that. This is like the next cigarette smoking. Now, here's why I see it. It's so clear. Because the people who own these structures are motivated to just make money. That's not bad, but that's the way the game is structured. We are occupying the same space and saying, we're not here to do that. We're here to use this technology to make the world a better place. That's the opportunity we have to demonstrate that actually, no, we can use these tools in healthy ways, in loving ways, in ways where we can come to see each other's cultures and traditions and histories and learn. But we've got to occupy this space and know that the algorithms that are being written by engineers who are totally devoted to maximizing profit, which means get people to think they need to buy things. So I'm just going to leave that on the table and just say that was like a profound awakening for me. That I realized that, like it's always been, technology is neutral. You can use it to do whatever you want with. But the scale of it that we're seeing here, bringing in the Amazon, bringing all these communities together around the world, that's unprecedented. Now, how we structure it matters. The overlords, the algorithms, it affects us. It determines what we get recommended, what we're being shown as people we should know, or things we should be made aware of, our news. And because it's so cheap to make this technology, people can make it look really good and you think it's true. We can't even tell the difference between fact and fiction. And the companies love that. Because if people want to see more lies, they're getting more ad revenue. There's Brother Phil calling me. I am so blessed. All right. Enough being me on my high horse. But that happened to me during this week. When I saw the kids realize, and the smart kids are waking up, you know what they do? When they get together to have a meal, they put their phones in the middle of the table. And they say, okay, the first one that touches their phone pays for the dinner.
That's good.
Isn't that brilliant? Now you see, I have faith. They realize and they're hooked. We've got to show them there's another way to use this. And there's a way to restore meaning and value, because they also have a spiritual crisis too. Those two things, social media and the spiritual crisis, is what they say the 18 to 22-year-olds are dealing with. And together we need to do something about that. I mean, I'm committed to do something about that. That was my kind of incitable action. I said, okay.
Where are you?
Hi, wherever you are, hear your voice. Okay, someone's unmuted. Becky, let's get into hearing from the stewards, because they're the ones who made this happen.
Yes. So I just want to say Auntie Pat McCabe is one of my teachers in Interfaith Seminary, and she gave a program and she offered that if we have tears, we can take our tissue and we can gather them in our tissue and we can give them back to the earth. We can bury them as a gift and as a blessing to the earth. So for those of you who, like me, with tissues by, don't put them in the bin, put them back to Mama Earth, and with gratitude and love. So so we have, I'm grabbing the Jamboard. It's a becoming Jamboard. We're going to make this together. I'm going to make sure I'm giving you the link that you can edit. And what we're going to do too is we have a list of our room stewards, and maybe what we can do is, if you are here on behalf of your room, put your name in the chat and your room name, and that way we can start a list and an order that we can call upon, because we've got 32 rooms that we may be hearing from. And so that's one way that we can come out of chaos and order, and one possibility of creating order around how we invite our room stewards to share. We do have a video from one room that we'll be sharing as well. And if you have videos, you can attach them to the card, but I'm just put this in the chat. Hang on, I put it in the chat. I see you're all adding it in now. So we'll start with that. then let's see, I'm going to pull up the cards. I'll show you on the room 1 board if you're on your computer as well. Let's pull this card up. Where did it go? All right, I'm scrolled down in the wrong part of the day. So
Becky, I just dropped in the chat to model this behavior, the link to the card on the crisis of loneliness among young Americans. So everybody's events, remember, we want you to curate them. We want to make them accessible. So you can go there and get a link to the video of what I'm talking about.
Excellent. So what we'll do on this card is we will be using this to determine who's here. We'll match up from the chat, and maybe Ingrid and Karen can help with that. We can put in the note, change the title to Wholesome Yoga Room here. And then we can kind of collaborate the Trello card and have that be the truth document for the order in which we'll go. So while we're doing that, I wonder, John, should we start by inviting Whole Self Nurturing and Justice and Healing to, and Healing Justice, Tex and Annie to have their 3 minutes? And then in the meantime, we can work on the card in the background to get the order going as to who's here, if that makes sense.
And we're giving people the jam board. So if while you're sitting there, these insights come. We were thinking we'd make it a place where you could go and just put a sticky note.
And I haven't had a chance, I haven't had a chance to pretty the jam board at all. So you can pretty it.
We're fine. We can
We're going to make it
There's
together.
a prettier in chief here sitting in the Zoom room, ready to play. So yeah, and this is a good thing if you don't know how to do. Another little tip from your technology advisor here. So learn to sign into a Jamboard. And what it is it's like just a frame, they call it. And you can click on and make a sticky note and post something on there. So we're going to use it throughout the day for different things. And then we'll look and see. That's what we shared.
This is an example of the Jamboard. This is the link that I sent you. Everybody has editing rights in here, and you can click on the little sticky note right here and type what you want to give or what you'd like to offer and put that on here, whatever your reflection is. And we have other pages too. There's up to 20 frames in here that we can go to. So you can each add your own sticky note. You can add a text box if you want. You can, just play with this. It's another option for you to share.
So the hardest part is just getting connected to it. So just have to follow the link. And there may be a little friction there sometimes. But it's a Google service. It's free and it works. All right.
They're
If you
really
need
fabulous.
help getting connected, let us know. But
And if you can't figure out how to get something on there, you can post a note in the chat and we'll help each other. If somebody sees it, you can say, oh, I see that somebody needs this to be posted. I'll add it. So this is collaborative here on the fly here. So we would
I'm
love
jump
to
in real quick, Becky. Sorry, just so you know, so how I can help you to track that, and for Karen both. In the hub document, I made a new tab, put all of the names of all the rooms in it, and then we can do it that way. So that's the document
in the hub. Well, I was actually going to try to use the Trello card, Ingrid, if we could actually edit the name of the room on each Trello card. So if Wholesome Yoga is here in the Zoom chat, you can just put after their name, edit their name from Wholesome Yoga to here, and then we'll know that they're there when we're going in the order. Does that make sense? That way we can all look at the same document for the order of going. Does that make sense? So
are you in the Jamboard? Not yet.
I'm not talking about the Jamboard.
So
I'm talking
about the Trello board.
I'm talking about the Trello card itself.
Okay.
I'll go back to the Trello card. I'll show you what I mean. So
okay.
Quick question. When I click on Wholesome Yoga in the Trello card, if it says convert card, is that where I would write here?
Right here. So say we know that Tex and Annie are here, and then we just put here. Okay, like that.
Got it.
And then you got it.
I'm on board with you.
And now we'll all be on the same one that we can look at. And if you happen to be here, you can go ahead and we'll put the card in the chat, like John said. You can put it right on there too. If you didn't put it in the chat or if you don't see it on there. So we'll do this together. It is a little bit chaotic right now. This is good, but
all right. And you're saying that's helpful to know who's speaking or who's next or what's
next, exactly, because we've got 30 that we got to hear from.
All right.
And so I want to test this. So we have 3 minutes
Okay.
because there's a lot of us to share and we want to hear from every single
All
room.
right, all right, all right.
So does this, if so, say some, John's talk and I'll
All
interrupt.
right, I'm keeping talking. I need to be told to shut up. Oh, well, no.
All right, I'm going to turn off my original sound. Hang on. Watch
Yeah.
this. Ready? Talk again.
All right, I'm going to keep talking. I should be told to stop talking. That's it. That's the way you do. That's better.
All right.
All right.
Can I just check for a minute, please? Sorry, but can
Thank
I
you,
just
Anna
check
Marie.
if Kara needs anything else, what we're doing for her to be able to capture also
Thank
the
you.
jewels and gems that we're looking for. So I just want
Well,
to.
you know, Anna Marie, it's hard to go to Kara without acknowledging her,
I know.
okay? Just to ask her anything, to say, wait, if everyone doesn't know, it is Kara who made One World the beautiful expression of art and imagery and everything associated with it. And not just that, it was her heart that made it. It was her, not just her hands. Oh my gosh, and her head. In fact, she did a program years ago called about the Magic Canoe, which I had no clue of when that first happened. So it just shows you it's so much around us. Thank you, Kara, for your leadership and creativity and great artistic skill.
I'm just maybe drawing on my iPad and catching what we're saying, and I've got the social body capacities in my framework of how we're those skills that we're building together. That's kind of what I'm listening for. So, but you guys just share what you've got, and then I'll sort of like put it together. Yeah.
All right, and this starts, by the way. Okay, wait. In this journey that I did, they said, hey, you know, it's 10% preparation, 30% experience, and 60% integration. We're just starting the integration. So we're going through a process where we've expanded and we're going to begin the consolidation. And it starts with learning about what happened, what people have to say. So this is just the beginning. All right. Who's first, Becky? We
All right.
Tex and Annie.
All right. Well, I am speaking on behalf of Tex Albert and myself, and also I must call in Kim Conrad, who worked with us behind the scenes, and Viola Olson, who was present for all of our sessions, are both here. And I cannot begin to do justice to the beauty and the stories and the tears and the laughter and the range of offerings that we were so very privileged to welcome and to steward and be with throughout these 4 days. I will just say that there was a real intentional calling in from the very beginning of Teilhard's fire, the second fire, the calling together of the beloved community for co-creative purpose was absolutely what we were doing from the very beginning, because originally we were only whole self-nurturing. And then Dr. Marty Casey said she needed a place for justice and healing. And we said, absolutely, that's part of it. So the one thing I'm going to share is something that continued throughout our 4 days together. It's actually my son-in-law lost his mother when he was 18 years old to cancer, a 3-year battle with cancer. And he is a composer. And he said that he shared this story with us on day one. And we played his music in the interims throughout. And he said that for many months, if not years, he used the piano to express his anger and frustration. And we can think of this in terms of our journey, perhaps at this moment. But he said what finally happened was one morning he woke up with this melody in his mind. And so he composed something called Mother's Waltz. So I'm going to play just a tiny piece of it so you can get a sense of that, because I think it's the hymn for our new awakening. Oops. Thank you so much, Becky, John, Ben. It's just been an amazing journey.
Beautiful.
Mm. Music again shows up as a powerful, powerful connecting force.
So our next, grab the tissues. Our next invitation is for anybody from the fountain that's here. Is anyone from the fountain? I didn't see anyone. And the next will be Mama Marlene.
From the fountain.
Yes, the fountain
Yes,
is
the
here.
fountain. Oh, yay, yay, yay. Who would you like to have spotlighted?
So Zara Indigo is my name, and
Wonderful. Hang on. Hi, Zara.
hello everybody. Hello, welcome to all of you, and deep appreciation and gratitude from the fountain, Jyoti Ma, dear grandmother Jyoti, and the amazing team who did so much to pull together 3 fabulous days of sessions where we came together and heard from our original nations peoples. We learned about our wisdom of the original principles from many of them. We welcomed amazing partners who shared about the sacred territories and the rights of nature, this beautiful earth that we have. We had this amazing beginning with the trees this morning and connecting to the trees and the roots, right, of our trees that are holding us all together with their branches out. So we heard about those rights of nature, how important that is, and the sacred territories of our original peoples. The original peoples are doing so much to preserve the land, to preserve the ways of life that help life to prosper. We were honored to hear an amazing film about decolonization from Stephen Newcomb. There's a film we aired of his called The Doctrine of Discovery. And I encourage you all, if you haven't, to watch this film and learn about how we ended up where we are today. And then we were blessed with learning about sacred economics, these various peoples and groups who are working to find new ways for us to exchange and to enter into sacred reciprocity. So it was, wow, I'm just, wow, wow. Wow, like multiple millions of wows, not just of the 3 days that we did, but of what all of you brought forward in each your own ways, and how that is touching the hearts of so many people. And so I just want to take this moment of gratitude, right? And to feel the gratitude for yourself, feel the gratitude for each other, and offer this love and gratitude to the original peoples who have been holding steady in their perseverance, in their dedication, in their presence, in their connection to the earth and to the plants, to the animals, and to each other. They need our support. They need our love. And gratitude to the fountain for all it does to connect and bring together ways for these original people's voice to be heard. And so with that, I just want to offer a small prayer. So I invite you all to just take a deep breath into your heart center. And feel that light, that flame that ignites you, that propels you, that brings you to action. And feel your love, fuel that flame, making it glow and grow and sparkle. Feel that love and that light and that warmth move through your whole body. As my phone brings a little rhythm to the moment. Arriving again and again into what is instead of what we wish it was. And as we feel that light and that love and that sparkle, just sink down into the earth under your feet. Feel this earth that nourishes you, that holds you, that gives you, gives me, gives us the significance of this life, the opportunity to breathe this breath, to feel our love. And bring yourself down into the core place of the earth, to that heart in the very center place of this planet. That heart where when we arrive there into that center place, we are all in the same place, all at the same time, regardless of where we are on the surface of this planet. When we bring our awareness to the center point, ding, we are all one. We are all one. And feel in that center point, that connection, that vitality, that wisdom of the earth. The earth knows. And we know when we arrive there. We know the connection we have to every plant, every animal, every human, all the elementals. We are connected as one. And draw all that up through those layers of the earth into your heart center. And take a deep breath with that knowing, with that connection, with that unity. And now reach out above our planet and notice the planet and the sun doing its dance. Notice all the other planets doing their dance with us, circling around this vital force of our sun. And notice that our solar system, our solar body, is a part of a galactic system, a galactic body. And that galactic body is a part of a universe filled with other galactic bodies. And somewhere amidst the immensity, the vastness of space, there is a heart center of our universe. Just allow yourself for a moment to tap into that heart of the universe and feel its intelligent creativity or its creative intelligence. And draw all of that down through the layers of time and space into your heart center, where it mixes with that vital, amazing wisdom of the earth, and it mixes with your love, and you arrive into the beauty of this moment, into the beauty of your knowing and your truth. And so with that, I thank you all deeply. May you carry your presence and your wisdom forward to help all of those who need that sparkle and that light that you have. So big blessings, big gratitude, 1,001 thank yous. From myself, Sarah Indigo, and the Fountain, and the amazing team that helped bring 3 days of content to this World Week of Unity.
So much, Sarah. Thank you. It was so beautiful. Grounding prayer, earthly floating prayer, space prayer. Next, we would love to invite, I don't think Mama Marlene is here. I didn't see her, and I don't see.
She's not. She did give me a message, though. She asked me to share, to say how grateful that they are to be a part of World Unity Week, and that they were very honored to be able to share these messages of skills for the 21st century with the world. All of the programming, not all of it, but a lot of the programming was done in short bursts of like 30-minute segments, so that in such a busy world that people will have the time to be able to take something and little pieces and be able to apply it into their lives in very practical ways. Please do go back and visit the Life Skills Room off their Trello board and look at all the different programs that they had, and take them into your life.
Beautiful. And she's been adding the links to their events on there, so that's awesome. I don't see Priya here.
And you know, Becky, I want to just call our attention to something. Part of what we came into World Unity Week with is the platform on Weaver, so that we would have a space to follow up. Okay, so that there actually be a way to take, for instance, what she just said she created there, 30-minute resources like that. How do we turn that into the kind of thing that can be shared easily and used amongst us. How do we influence each other and empower each other to influence others? And we're going to do it by turning into the content that we've all created here during this week. Start to think creatively about how we're going to make it, refine it, take the highlights from it, actionable insights. Like, remember, I don't know if you saw it, Paul Hawken said, it's not your beliefs that shape your actions. It's your actions that shape your beliefs. I said, ooh, that's right. All we got to do is start acting differently and watch what happens. That's why I just want to put in a plug in for Purpose Earth. Let's demonstrate we can give together and empower all the grantees and new grantees that'll come. These are examples of what we can do. Just a little bit of trust, a little bit of resource for each other. We'll get all better. So anyway,
Beautiful.
All right.
Next up, we have, I don't think anyone is here from the Festival of the Child. Going once, going twice. We'll move to art and music, and I see Cecilia St. King, our inner peace troubadour, is here. Yay! Cecilia, you can unmute, dear sister, and have your 3 minutes.
I got my timer. So I have to just say, before this journey, when we first started this journey, I was so stressed out. I was freaking out about learning the board, about Trello, about the technology, being a Zoom tech. I was so afraid. And now I'm so grateful. I've learned all this new technology. My sister's calling me, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I love the Trello board. It's so amazing. What a tool. It's like, thank you, John. You kept insisting we would love it. We would love it. And I love it. What a project management tool. It's amazing. So thank you for that. And I want to thank, in the art and music, we started with Donna Leah and her hugging the trees and singing for us. It was so beautiful. We had Tootie, the clown, AKA Sasa, AKA Tootie. We had Renee Collins doing Kijong and his music, and Kim Conrad, she came in and did for and as opposed to against. And Janice Stanfield shared with us not only her beautiful music, but the refugees film camp, where she's bringing children and teaching children in Syria how to make money, how to teach others how to become the technology so that they can make money for their families, and empowering young girls. We had the Mexican musicians, which are, with all that was been going on in our culture around that culture, it was so amazing to see the brilliant light shining from our Mexican brothers and sisters just to the south of us. And then we had Havala. It was just outstanding. And then all the other programs, as an inner peace troubadour, I am so grateful, as I just really believe for the first time in a really long time that Peace on Earth will be available. And I had the joy of being with Dot Maver and Fumi John Stewart last night, and in the May Peace Prevail on Earth room, and meeting with my brothers and sisters from Japan. I'm humbled. I'm so humbled by this experience, and so grateful to each and every one of you. And John and Becky, Ben, all of you in Unity Earth and Purpose Earth and Weaver, thank you so much. And I'm actually going to acquiesce my time a little bit earlier so we can move on to others. Thank you. Namaste. From the bottom of my heart, the God in me sees the God in all of you. Beautiful. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. Oh, I love you, sister.
I love you, Becky.
We're going to go to We the World and Allies Take Action. Is there anyone here from We the World? Anybody here? We the World? Going once. Then we're going to go to Wholesome Yoga. And then after Wholesome Yoga, we have a little bit of a shift because Sacred Land, Sacred Sites is going to go. So Wholesome Yoga, are you here? Shirish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I'd like to share everything that's been said. It's hard for me to describe the experience of being part of this World Unity Week. It's a feeling, it's hard to describe. I'd like to share with you a few of the highlights in the room. One, for example, included an unusual meditative brainstorming an experience brought out by Dr. L.T. Horo, I think that's how you say his name. He created an ambience through this, this process, whereby the question is asked us to explore about the inequality in the world. The poorest are poor one side and the richest the other. What a big gap. You know? And through the meditative practice, asked our conscious to come forward and say, what is it we can contribute? And the zest of it was how we can diminish our own consumerism. Thereby, we are influencing, we are reducing deforestation, we are reducing animal suffering, and thereby our own human suffering. And so various things that come in our mind, some during the session, some afterwards. Another experience was somebody from Germany, Maylene, I believe, and she, through the vibrations of sound that she produced, that kind of sound I'd never heard before, nor in any of the music, nor in any operas, or I don't know what it came from, but they were all channel sounds that brought out different emotions in us and made us realize that we are just one, united as one big family. We had various sessions. One was, for example, a meditative session that took us from the cosmic creation, right from the beginning of time, and made us pass through until we came out of our mother's womb and become what we are, carrying that divine spark with us. The way they put it, I'm not really able to express that, but it was an experience. We had a session beside the usual yoga and prana, breathing sessions and so on. We had a session talked about the medical systems. Medical systems were divided into three groups: the modern, what we call conventional medicine, the ancient medicine, and the indigenous medicine. And the very foundation were tackled. The foundation of modern medicine was from the structure to the chemicals, and it became medicine, modern medicine. But the healing systems of the Eastern, based on nature's 5 elements, or 4 in some system. And these elements, earth, water, fire, air, space, how they are the foundation of our health, and so on. That was there's just a glimpse of it. And finally, we had an experience of being a pure divine being. And in that divinity that comes out, not the body, not the mind, we actually experience being that in oneness with all of you. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shirish. Thank you and your team for what you brought forward. So next we would like to invite Sacred Lands, Sacred Sites to share. Is that, let's see, is that Krista? There she is. Hi, Krista. You need to unmute yourself. Ooh.
I have unmuted myself.
Is there anyone else I should spotlight from your room while you're sharing?
Yes, Tanya, please.
Thank you. Anyone else? I know you had a lot of stewards.
Yes, but we are the only ones here.
Okay.
And I wanted to bring Tanya in. Even Tanya says she's feeling too throat blocked to say anything. So we are from Sacred Lands, Sacred Sites, and the man who brought us together, Jim Petruzzi, is unfortunately stuck in traffic. So I'm taking over at the moment together with Tanya to express our deepest gratitude to everybody who organized this, and also our deepest gratitude to all the people who contributed to make Sacred Lands, Sacred Site an amazing experience. I wanted to start with a quote, which I want to read to you. Every society needs sacred places. A society that cannot remember its past and honor it is in peril of losing its soul. This is by Vinay Deloria, a Lakota scholar. When Jim brought us all together, I'm from Sacred Earth Activism in the UK. Jim and we work together, we share a lot of information. When he brought us all together, then with Tanya and the other stewards, there was Alia, and then also Laura Sa, who came in on and off. We had the idea of looking at sacred sites, and then we came up with the idea, or with the understanding that all land is actually sacred. So we widened our remit, and it was absolutely fantastic. We had people, presentations from the Himalayas, from Africa, from various tribes in North America, from South America. We had presentations from all over the world, and it wasn't always pleasant, because what we also realized and brought in and focused on was the fight for the sacred sites and the sacred lands. So we focused also on activism. We didn't try to bring only presentations which are beautiful, because the sacred sites and sacred lands all over the world are under threat. And if there isn't a church, or if there isn't a chapel, or if there isn't a monument from the 3 desert religions, these places are not seen as sacred. Our stone circles aren't seen as sacred. The Aboriginal cave paintings aren't seen as sacred. The lands of the North American tribes are not seen as sacred by the powers, or by the people in power, and by the money that rules the world at the moment. And I don't want to go into a political spiel here, but every single presentation brought this to the fore, but also, and on the beautiful side and positive side, there is a massive worldwide movement for our sacred sites, and it is worldwide, and it is absolutely beautiful. So our highlight, and I just want to mention that, Tanya, I think you would agree, our highlight was the Kogis. We had the Kogis there live from the Colombian mountains, 8 mamas who talked to us live, and it was like being pulled into a magical realm. I can't describe it differently. I sat here in my office and I felt like I'm on these mountains, being involved in a ceremony which they did especially for us. And I'm utterly grateful for that experience. Tanya, is there anything you want to add?
We actually did chime a bell, but I love you, Tanya. Is there something you want to add for a moment?
I didn't hear the bells. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I want to hear every single story. It's heartbreaking. I feel, we need like 4 hours, but incredible, and so grateful for what you're doing in your stewardship, and how I remember seeing that you've added many links to your recordings. So we'll all be able to go and enjoy each other's work next week when we're not in World Unity Week mode anymore. Thank you. Krista, go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing, there is a question. Is that replay of Kogi live stream in Trello board? It is, unfortunately, we had a day of technical hiccups and we couldn't live stream the Kogi, but we have recorded it and it's on YouTube and it's in the Trello board and it is so worth watching. Have a look. I can put it on, I can put a YouTube link in the chat in a moment. So thank you everybody for listening to us. We had an amazing time, didn't we, Tanya?
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Next, we would like to invite Phoenix from the Earthwaking University. Hello, Phoenix. You can unmute yourself, friend.
Hello, everyone. It is an absolute honor for me to be here representing all of the visionary leaders of Earthwaking University and all of the amazing co-collaborators who came together in our Convergence room this past week to help wake the world up. And what are we waking the world up to? That all we need is within us now, and that we are the source of hope, faith, and love in this world. Our mission at Earthwaking University is to awaken people, inspire people, and love people. And we did that this week. And we will continue to do this by developing and sharing the new type of education that we're sharing to focus on emotional intelligence. Because our goal is to provide every person with the tools, the resources, and most importantly, the community needed to love themselves, to love each other, and to live the incredible, prosperous, and fulfilling life that they were actually created to live. This week, we laughed together, we cried, we danced, we shared, we connected, and we remembered. We reminded people how to live healthier, more abundantly, happier, with more purpose, and with more fulfilling relationships, not only with themselves, but with others and their higher power, however they define that to be. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, the divine was at work for sure, arranging this beautiful human constellation, because there were just so many connections made and synchronicities, and there are partnerships in the process now. And it was a great reminder. The World Unity Week theme this year was let's do something, that the work and the play doesn't stop here, it starts here. So I want to real quickly share with you what we are doing. Let's do something. We're building a community, and I invite you guys to stay connected by joining our online community at earthwakingvillage.com. And that's where you'll be able to find support and resources and connection. And that's what we're doing in the virtual world, but in the physical world, we're also building a network of self-sustainable villages and university campuses all over the globe. We're reinventing the education system and the monetary system, and we're waking people up. And it all starts with our program called Awaken Life Live. And I invite you to join us and invite anyone else you know that to this 2-day immersive event, because it's changing people's lives in the world, one person at a time. And I'm just so happy that our content is going to be available on demand on the Trello board from now into eternity. So please, when you have more time and more energy and more brain space, come back to check that out. And I just want to really, truly, genuinely thank each and every one of you for the opportunity to be a part of something truly amazing this week. Thank you for being a part of our collective journey home. I see you. I love you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Right. Hey, I'm dropping the Weaver links into the chat.
Oh, so beautiful.
So you can learn more, get connected, suggest connections.
Next, we have Lester from the Purpose-Based Business. Oh, hang on, I was trying to spotlight you. There we go. Hi, Lester.
Hello, Becky. Hello, everybody. The fact that I'm here is actually all John's fault. John can tell the story about how this started, but what's happened since then is John has, the direction John has taken has challenged me to play bigger. And so this week, personally, I did something I've not done before, and something I've not done in 20 years. So I ended up actually, without realizing I was going to be doing this, because I thought Linda Bjork and Emmanuel from Purpose Earth were actually leading the group on business, and I was just going to do a session or two. But it turned out I kind of had to do, but ended up doing a bit more than that. So I'm very grateful to everybody else who participated, because without them, I wouldn't have had anything to do. in that. But as a result, though, since I was being challenged, I figured, well, I may as well challenge everyone else. So the challenge is for small business to come out and take a leadership role. In the past, small businesses have been buried between big business and charities. And I'm suggesting and inviting people that small business can actually lead the world, provide an economy that 80% of the economy in the world is small business. And small business employs more people than anybody else. So if we can get together small businesses, we can do pretty much whatever we want much faster than trying to change anybody else. So if the invitation is for anybody who wants to join us and see how we can work together. So my objective is just so you're not too scared about too big a challenge, is to replace Purpose Earth to run World Unity Week next time.
Oh, that's a beautiful goal. And business is so powerful in our world. In fact, Otto Scharmer was talking about that's one thing that needs to be transformed this next decade is economics, the economy, and empowering local businesses, small businesses, and what that means for us. Great change here. That's great, Lester. Thank you for your leadership in this purpose-based business and social enterprise.
Beautiful. Next, we have Joanie from One World Town Hall. And Joanie was here, but I don't see Joanie here unless Joanie's under a different name in the room. Maybe she's under One World.
Here I am. Yes, I changed. I forgot to change it back. Hello. My heart is so full, and I just know we're at the precipice. We have begun something that is just, oh my God. I mean, the possibility is extraordinary. And I just wanted to take a minute, since we have a lot of good energy here. Could we just zap Becky and John with all this good energy and say, we love you and we thank you, and just send it back at them? What you guys have held for us.
Oh my God.
There are no words. Love to you both. So, Anne-Marie, love to you, to the whole Hague Center, Marianne, for being with us in the One World Town Hall. David Wick and Rotary was amazing. Karen, thank you for jumping in like you did. What we did in the One World Town Hall was we wanted to be the place where inspiration meets needs. We were asking, how do we create public policy based on human rights and the human spirit? We wanted to put the human spirit in the center of how we create the world around us. And consciousness, we wanted to work with the role of consciousness in all of this and put it squarely at the table. We were asking, how do we make what's morally compelling be politically imperative? And we were asking, like, how do you put the human spirit, how do you put consciousness into the political calculus? How do you factor in our interdependent co-arising? So when we think about how to create our civic space, and when we think about how to create and make the containers and the structures for the world we want, how do we put our interdependent co-arising with all other beings on Earth and beyond into the political equation? How do we put Teilhard's fire into our collective guiding principles and structures? How do we make the town center Teilhard's fire? That's really what we were doing. And we played with that from United Nations level. We had 2 sessions that were directly involved with the United Nations transformation. So we talked about it from global governance right down to basic biology in a session about biomimicry. And we tied the dots between with a really wonderful program from the Himalayas in a triangle where slavery is the worst in the world. And their work in forestry has really made a huge impact on the slavery numbers because of how they connected the dots and did it on the ground. It just extraordinary session. And we looked at Indigenous governance. We asked, what's the wisdom here? What's the wisdom from our spiritual and our wisdom traditions? How do we bring that into our new cultural norms? Because we have tipped. We're in the new place. So how do we create the structures so we can hold this ontological deep shift? How do we bring it all into the heart, the yin and the yang? How do we get the policies, the structures in place, and how do we live in those structures in full consciousness, full heartedness, in happiness and well-being? So, and it was awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Awesome. Joanie, I am so happy. You are happy. And you realize with the profound wisdom you're carrying here. We need institutions. In fact, Otto said that too. You talk to the people in the grassroots, you talk to the people and the institutions. When you really speak to their soul, it's the same.
Yes, it is. Everybody's just people at the end of the day. Yeah. We're all just people.
Yeah. So thanks for making sure that we're right, with those institutions that are shaping policy that are affecting so many people. We need to bring this beloved community spirit right there.
Yes.
Thank
Place
you.
at the table.
Yeah. Fabulous. Wow. All right.
Sorry, my dog's gone bananas. Next up is the connection field. Dr. Julie. Are you here, Dr. Julie?
I am. Thank you. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. Wow, just taking a breath to integrate all this. So the connection field, many of you don't know this because I found as people were coming into our room, they didn't know this, but the connection field has been up and operational as a connection field, doing just like the Convergence Rooms did for 15 months now as a response to COVID. So it became our community program, our community-led program, and our dear brother, Chief Phil Lane Jr., came in last year at the same time and said, I love this idea, let's do it. So I open with that because what we got to do was really complement a lot of the hosts and offerings that we already had with many, many more for the week. It was incredible. From 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., we were full for the entire 4 days. Beautiful programming. We had, I think, 2-hour slots that were not filled. That's it. And so we filled them with other fun stuff like music and stuff. So I just wanted to acknowledge all of our volunteers and all the hosts from our community that stepped up and filled some time slots, and invite all of you that the connection field doesn't stop. We're doing this 365 days and getting ready to gear up for Connection Field 2.0, bringing it into more of a trans-organizational project. The Connection Field belongs to Good of the Whole, a nonprofit 501c3, and we're looking to, before International Peace Day, bringing in many more organizations and working as a true program, just like we created this week, of people coming together and sharing. And I have a few of you in mind that I'm going to invite in to do some special pieces. So thank you for that. I had the blessing of doing something different. So when I say the highlights of the connection field, I have my highlights because I hosted 3 sessions myself, and they're what I can give you a firsthand story of. But I have to tell you, the other thing I did was I went to all of your rooms. I went into all the different Convergence rooms. I went into your schedules. I looked at what you were offering, and I got to give a synopsis of what was happening every night during our 4 days, called The Whole Story in 12 Minutes or Less. Ben asked me to kind of help the whole see itself as whole and kind of narrate, not just oh, look what's happening in one world and our Convergence rooms, but why does it matter? What's the significance? And so I got to, this is what you guys did. This is what I'm so excited about. I shared 12 principles of a superorganism and broke them down to 3 different principles each day. and got to look around One World and see what we were doing, and then show real life examples of how we were demonstrating these qualities, these traits in real time during this week. And so I gave my report, the whole story, in 12 minutes or less, each of our nights, and got to highlight a lot of what you were doing. So congratulations to everyone here. We literally became a living organism that really was an exquisite example of our prior unity, an exquisite example of our innate capacity to work in cooperative communities and to care for all life and future generations. And so it was great. It was amazing. We really showed the world our inherent unity, and I can't wait for this to grow and grow and expand into future generations and future years as we continue to do World Unity Week. So I also just want to, I have a special thing I want to close with, but I have two other things. One of the things that was so wonderful was not just thank you for the leadership helping us get organized and what have you, but there were some specific examples of people needing to cooperate between rooms and with different hosts and with different sessions. And I witnessed it myself with incredible generosity and cooperation. So I just want to thank you all for stepping up and saying, yeah, we can do this. Yeah, we can help here. Yeah, I can come in and do that. It was really an exquisite example of cooperation. I was so pleased with that. I put in the chat 2 sessions that I love, and I think all of us need to just hear the wisdom of, which were, I hosted 2 sessions on unity and the unified field, so we could bring in the science of unity. So I had Greg Braden and Jude Curavan come in for 2 different sessions and talk about the science of unity. And it was real informative and enlightening, and a great foundation to really teach all of our communities to really understand what's underneath our inherent unity here. And then I just want to share one more piece, and hopefully I'm under 3 minutes because I'm talking fast. But the other,
actually not, but it's okay because you represent the superorganism here.
Okay. So a part of the superorganism that was beautiful, thanks for that, Becky, was that I had a session yesterday with Gary Malkin, and I just wanted it to be a resonance reset. I wanted to honor him with all that beautiful music and those videos and those transformances he offered all of us, and bring that into our experience and help people understand music and unity. So we did this yesterday, and the one thing that was so beautiful that came out at the end of his session is, today our theme is belonging in action. And at the end, we were talking about music, and literally Gary was demonstrating. I could put that link in the chat too if you want. He was demonstrating with his keyboard how this works and how it draws us in with our emotion and understanding. And he came up with this phrase at the end, it just popped in, as, this is the sound of belonging. And you could just feel it. It was so gorgeous. It was so incredible. The sound of belonging. So now Gary and I are on a mission, and this is what I witnessed too so many times, is the collaborative post World Unity Week expressions that are coming. Gary and I are going to collaborate on a project with the sound of belonging. Isn't that beautiful and yummy? So anyway, I'll also put a link in if you want to stay connected with the connection field and come in and help build the trans-organizational model of this. It will be coming really soon. So thank you, Becky and John, for this opportunity. Thank you all for demonstrating the superorganism in action.
It's really amazing, the synchronicities of all this. Thank you, Julie. That was so powerful. And in fact, because what happened is, just before you started to speak, I said to Becky, hey, let's play a transformance from what Gary and Sarah did. And so it's like the perfect lead in for us to take a bit, because you started with saying, hey, let's just take a breath. And that's what's so fabulous about this experience. We're actually learning how to bring ourselves into coherence, how we do it. So let's just do it. Let's take a minute and experience it. All right. So I'm going to open this up. I've got it right. Here we go.
Let's pause for a moment. Let's come into the present. And let's remind ourselves that we've never been here before. We don't have all the answers. We are right on the edge of the unknown. And so let's enter a space of humility, of curiosity, and of wondering. Let's listen deeply to ourselves and to each other. And let's bring our true selves into this conversation. The essence of who we are. Speaking, listening, on the edge of the unknown.
So beautiful.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
Come back into presence with each other again. Gratitude to Gary and Sarah for that beautiful collaboration. And what gifts. Those are still on the Team Up board for us to use.
Right.
They'll be there next year.
No,
Yeah,
not
can
next
use
year.
them. No,
Use
I
them
mean,
now.
use them now, use them in
Yeah.
your work.
And weave them into the creations you'll make from what you did in the room. So you'll come up with a...
Yeah, we'll help everybody do that. Next up, we have a Supernova room. So we have Ingrid, and I don't know if Leah is here. Leah was she joined as a room steward and championed in with Ingrid to help support all of those rooms, all of those events that didn't have a room to go to because we were so full. So Ingrid, and if Leah's here, I'd love to spotlight you both.
Yeah, Leah wasn't able to be here, but we talked this morning, and so she had wanted to make sure that saying a big thank you to everyone who had rooms that ended up being full and were careful enough to make sure that people didn't get dropped and got moved back so that we could try to place them. We had some beautiful programming in the Supernova room, and everything from Brian Swim talking about evolutionary cosmology and works from Pierre Chardin. We had Renee doing Qigong meditations for peace, the pro-social movement. Amazing how many different types of programming that they're doing. It's such a transitional and transition movement across the globe, really. And there was a special artistry, walking the talk of art and peace building. There's consciousness hacking. We had support for special needs, parents of children with special needs. And Collab Soul Pro Social in Brazil did an amazing presentation as well. And I also got to talk about the Compassion Project with Avatar myself. But more importantly, there was an interweaving of different elements that are present within everything that we need to take us forward in the journey between worlds. And I wanted to read the Supernova room description to you all so you can get a feel for it. That supernova are a major source of all of the elements in the interstellar medium. The expanding shock waves of supernovae can trigger the formation of new stars. We hold the space for the highest intentions and most beneficial evolutionary aspects of all of these presentations to become elemental influences in our world and trigger the expansion of new formations of light within and throughout all of humanity and all life forms. Thanks from the Supernova Room.
Nice.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ingrid. And thanks to Leah for stepping up. So looking, and I don't see anyone here from Cosmic Gateway or from Voices of Water. Is there someone here? I know that Uniting for Water is, but is there anyone here from Voices of Water, Nourishing Seeds?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, there you are. I was looking for Elizabeth, but you
There's
didn't.
a whole lot of us here.
Okay, tell me who to spotlight, Elizabeth.
Glow Moss, Angelique, and I'm not sure if Sol is here, but if she's here, then Sol Moran.
I don't see Glow anymore.
Okay.
And who's the third person?
Sol Moran.
Angelique, can you start your video, please? And I don't see Sol unless her name is something else other than...
Okay, that's fine. Whoever is here.
Beautiful. Welcome.
I'm going to just really thank, such gratitude for all, again, adding to all the gratitude. And just want to really thank our source, energy, force of water. And I'm going to give the mic to Angelique. So much of what we do is reflected, as John said, in our actions. And this woman has done beautiful actions, and also how we impact other people and how we inspire other people, how what we do goes on to the next bubble of human. And so I'd love for Angelique to speak as to what she gained in participating specifically in the Voices of Water room, but also the whole event.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you everyone for all of the contributions the entire week. It truly has been just beautiful and amazing to watch the community of humanity stand up, and in the Voices of Water room, the conversations about how to bring water into the collaboration and partnership in this endeavor as we shift into our new paradigm to really acknowledging the beautiful, sentient, intelligent being that she is in all of our work, and really inviting her to participate with us. And the last talk that we had in the Voices of Water, we brought in youth like Nayland Pike from the Apache Stronghold, who just shared some beautiful wisdoms with us. And it just was an honor and a privilege to be a part and to be invited to be part of this whole. And I'm so thankful to the water that is supporting us all in being able to come from our hearts and our authentic selves as the source beings that we are. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Angelique. So for our intention, it was to really try to bridge our inspiration, this vast inspiration that's being gathered here, into implementation in the ground with finding specific models and system design, and find out what humans are actually doing in the ground. And I wish I had 1 million of myself that I could really attend each session, because it was so clear of what everyone was doing. So I've added, you see it just a little bit up, it's loading right now, and you'll see it in a minute. My visions come to me in graphics and visual pictures that are holograms that And so this was a result of our final session on the final day. And it's just a visual representation of my own harvest. So, and there's some beautiful things that happened on the last day. The first few days were challenging. My mother broke her hip, so I still have to do this. And she was very gracious and allowed me my time. But we're getting connected with seeds in a very significant way. And if you don't know what seeds are, it's a renaissance. It's an economic renaissance. Was that the bell? Did I hear the bell?
It was, yes.
All right, very good.
I hate
And
doing
then
that.
The other thing is Voices of Water. We're putting together a media channel, a water media channel. So thank you so much.
Please
Once
put
again.
a link in the chat to everybody.
I
share
will,
your
I will,
links.
I will. Yep.
Thank you all so much. So next up we have Uniting for Water as we flow from one water room to another with Shelley. Find Shelley. There you are. Jan is here. I thought I saw Shelley before. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you all so much. This is beyond words what is happening here. It's really the fullest, most diverse expression of unity and embodying unity, and it gives so much hope for moving forward as one coherent family for a thriving world for all. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Angelique and Elizabeth, for bringing in the waters already. And yeah, reminding us how water is leading the way through us in so many ways, and the opportunity that she is calling forth for us to co-create with her in a conscious way. It's magical to see how this is being expressed through us, and just to kind of share what's been happening in the Uniting for Water room, because this is really also very much about us consciously coming together to recognize our Mother Water as the primary healer and the primary guide for our collective healing, and how she expresses that. It's been amazing in the Uniting for Water room. Actually, even before the water room opened, there was a beautiful event on the 20th, connecting the sacred sites, protecting the sacred sites and water, and coming together with the Fountain and Chief Elaine and Linda Tucker from the White Lions who spoke, and Shelley Ostroff as well, about how water and the sacred sites and the protection of these two elements can really form a beautiful foundation for our collective healing, for restoring right relationship with our beautiful Mother Earth. And so when we launched the Uniting for Water room on the 22nd, it was quite a marathon session immediately that kicked off with Matt Thornton from the New Water Generation actually launching his Water Stories podcast with 40 speakers. It was an 8-hour session, and 40 speakers came in, all just from so many different fields, from the water field, from the science to the indigenous to consciousness. It was extraordinary, the diversity. And then yeah, so that's one big long session that everybody can dip into, and we'll try and put the individual program up so you can dip into that treasure trove. And then there was Susie Steer, who came in and brought the trees and the fungi and their relationship with water. And every evening we would relay after the plenary with Jen Isabel Friend, who is an amazing water steward, who brought in beautiful guests as well, very prominent water experts. And one thing I just want to mention quickly, I mean, there's so much to mention, but the 23rd, we were invited into the Global Fire Ceremony room for a day where fire was welcoming water in to really nourish the waters through the initiation, through the birthing of a global circle of indigenous wisdom keepers for a world water law. And together with Janice Hall and Adriana Alvarez, there were 3 beautiful sessions that came forth with so much wisdom and really grounding the importance of acknowledging the indigenous peoples and indigenous wisdom for holding the world water law in its integrity as it starts to ripple out into the world. So super grateful for that session and the birthing of the World Water Community that happened on the 24th. I'll leave it there, but please go check out the Uniting for Water Trello board. All of the recordings are up there. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
And so we invite Anna Marie and people from the Meshworking and Eco Regions team next. I'm going to spotlight you, Anna Marie, and you can tell me who else to spotlight.
Annalise, if you could spotlight Annalise. We were with 9 of us of the team that have been working on World Unity Week, but we have spread ourselves out into different rooms. We first started last year already with the Meshworking room, cities room. So we've continued with all the also with the Convergence to build this field of cities, because we are seeing that the city is the place where we belong, where we come together, city and eco-region. So that's including the villages, the watersheds, etc. And today is the theme of belonging. What we also did is always connect to the themes and every day attune that and bring that into the programming of how we designed it. But we also let it arise, seeing what would be coming into form each time. Looking at for the how in cities all voices need to be heard. So which ones can we put forth and which ones can we bring into presence? And we had this year quite some attention for youth and youngsters, starting with the call for the peace pop-ups that will be happening in September, a beautiful intergenerational dialogue with Auntie Elizabeth, some with a dream tank, well, different places where we had those conversations going. Yeah, I think it's beautiful to see how we, again, this time more even wove into other rooms. Like I was doing a lot in the town hall. Diana, Clare, and Mariana and Natasha were in Being the New Human, and we did something in the Evolutionary Leader. So where you could see that something comes up that is relevant for cities, we didn't always do it in our own room, but we connected it to the other rooms so that we could cross-pollinate. And to be honest, I am imagining that we're going to do that much and much more. And thank you for bringing in Weaver, because that helps. And as I wasn't in the room all the time, because I was running around in different places, Annalise, maybe you are one of the constant factors. Thank you very much for doing that in the Meshworking room. And maybe you want to share something, and for the rest, we guide you to the Trello boards.
Yes, thank you. Well, really, I think we were the reflective organs of Gaia in all World Unity Week, but especially in this integral city room, you could say. And I made a little poem because it took everything together in a little poem that is a Dutch poem by Henk Stufkens, and it said it all to me. I changed it a little bit and translated it for you. So on day 3, I thought, where are we? And on day 6, I thought, okay, we are everywhere. We are placemaking, we are place caring, and that's really, we would make a good city with each other. Here comes the poem. I came here from The Hague on the beach, was witness of some entrance errancies, when I heard a young and elder 2 waves speak, exactly before they would awake and break. One called, "This is the end. We will smash or crash." The other said, "Oh no, definitely not in world unity. You are no wave, you are the sea." Thank you so much. Thank you for especially the beautiful weaving, waving, and waver.
Thank you, Annelies. And I just want to acknowledge also Shweta, who was there also very much in the room, but couldn't be here for family business, and Peter Wakkers, and Marilyn Hamilton, of course, who is also the ambassador of World Unity Week and is a big inspiration for the Integral City, inspired by the bees, how they organize their hives for millions of years already. And really seeing how with the GPS that you can see on Clara's when her video is off, how that helps us to look at cities from these 12 different intelligences that are all contributing for us to live in unity and in belonging. And I would like to end with just naming the sentence that Jude Caravan has given us for belonging, and which you can also find how we've translated that to cities. But the sentence is, and we'll be coming up after this, she'll be doing the coherence as well around that, belonging in action, beyond unity in diversity, beyond unity in inclusion, is unity in belonging. You are here, we are here, because we belong. World Unity Week is a living celebration of belonging in action. Let it be so. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great. You know, Becky, we need to say a little more about the Hague Center and Anna Marie.
Yes.
Because first off, just the clarity of roles here. Not only were you stewarding and playing in many rooms, but you're a co-producer. It just emerged so clear in the process that your force of nature, Anna Marie, your commitment to us figuring this out, learning how to weave together and bring in the cultural perspectives and remind us to stay grounded in nature and the indigenous world. I mean, there's so many things right about what we've been able to do together, and your leadership has been such a big part of it. And connecting, literally bridging the worlds, right? The whole, from America to and then opening up Russia, Brother Phil, with the Creative Society, and that South Africa. I mean, those who don't know should know. And really, the work that you're doing in the Hague Center and the work that your life is about is fed us all deeply. And we're not done. I mean, now is the interesting part, right? As we start to consolidate.
Yeah. So maybe Becky, could you just put up Cara and Diana Clare and Natasha and Marianne, because I can't.
Part of this.
They didn't put their video. Hang on, I'm trying to.
Yeah, because they're here, and then we have the others as well. But I couldn't do it without.
Say Cara.
They are a team. Anna Marie is
say the other names
leader.
for me.
Natasha. Marianne, if you could say something, guys, because then it's easier to find you. I just want to put us all up there.
Diana Clare.
Diana Clare, yes. Marianne de Jager. Marianne, say something, please. Or I saw you later on, but yeah, maybe she's gone.
Yeah, I'm here.
I see her hand.
Okay, so just put us all.
Yeah, let's create a spotlight there. I'm going to add
I'm trying to do it.
That would be lovely, because and the others of the team there, our faraway team. You know, every morning we came together with those that could to.
Oh, we were prompted to have our people on the spotlight.
Who's that? Hold on. Someone's.
Who else, Anna Marie?
I think this is everybody that is here now. Hey, yes, and then we have the others that are not here. But
it's
guys,
our selfie moment.
Yeah. Often I'm the one that's speaking, but I can only speak because you guys are all here and helping us with all the faraway teams and with the Integral City team as well. And John and Becky and Ben, the Invit and the whole Constellation team, the way that we are able to just show up and do even crazy things as musicals and flying tigers and I have been heard in my life so often, be normal, come on, take it easy, slow down, it's too big, make it smaller. And here reuniting continents, really? Well, okay, let's do it. And that sense is it's not only about the doing, because I think what I feel we are really invited into and are able to do is that I can totally be myself here. And that doing comes from this deep conviction of just expressing what makes my heart sing. And then you even encourage parts that light up parts of myself that I didn't even know. And that I think is something, like Adrian was watching from a distance because he couldn't be here, but he said it's the being that is coming in this World Unity Week so more clearly. You speak about the doing, but actually we, all of us here, all in the convergence rooms, I think we were really practicing that being. So I think it's that next step that we're moving towards, which makes the heart sing. And I think it's that truth is what hearts respond to. And I think that is going to be one of the ways that we can really get the waves out even more. Also in the cosmic context, I mean, I could say here, you know, it's in the cosmic context. I can't say that everywhere, but here we are with so many that we can just say, yeah, let's do it. So thank you all.
Yeah, so that is the phrase. Okay, yes, let's do it. And you actually, when you say it, your body moves a little bit because it's like opening up space. Okay, I didn't know we're going to do that, but okay, yes, let's do it. And that's the spirit. That's what moves this canoe. That's what takes us to a new world when we're willing to go beyond what we think our current future may look like. Be prepared to be surprised.
So beautiful.
Thank you, everybody there, for all the amazing work.
So, John, we have, I want to make sure for clarification, Coherence Pulse, are they in this room at 3 o'clock? Is that?
No, I think they're in their own room.
They're in their room. Okay. All right, good. So we can continue, I believe, until somebody brings pulls us off the live stream. So what we're doing, for those of you who are just joining us, is we're doing a room steward harvest. We're inviting the room stewards of each room to share. So we're not doing any questions or anything unless you want to post things in the chat. And so our next room steward is actually Diana Clare from Being the New Human. And we would love to give you your up to 3 minutes. You don't have to take the full 3 minutes, but if you would like it, we would love to invite Diana to share from Being the New Human.
And Becky, Annalisa is somewhere in the room, and she was my co-steward. So
here as well, if that helps.
There you go.
No, Annalisa, A-N.
Berg.
Annalisa Berg. There we go. Could you see her?
She's beside you. If you change your view, I think do I have the wrong Annalisa up?
Yes, you got the wrong one.
So sorry. Oh dear. So I don't see.
I'm here. If that helps, if I'm speaking.
What's your name?
Annalisa Berg.
Oh! I spelled your name wrong. That's right. I'm so sorry, Annalisa. I know who you are.
Hey, I know you do.
There
we are.
Great.
Yeah. I hear you.
So thank you for this invitation, and what a perfect introduction to the Being the New Human room that Anne-Marie gave just a few minutes ago, and also everybody that's shared, all the stewards so far. I mean, we've really been talking about this being the new human, but we had a whole room with that as the topic, and our invitation was to share to the participants was let's share experience